Alright. Alright, welcome to Really Addicted Outdoors. So, today is not, well, it is about a hunting trip. About a tragic disaster that happened this weekend. I'm just leaving work, so I thought, got a little bit of running to do. Be a good time to talk about it. This weekend was opening day of muzzleloader season. So, went to my dad's and both got to stand. Everything seemed to be starting out pretty good. We had I don't know, it's probably about 8 o'clock in the morning. The sun was up good. I looked to my left and I'm sitting on a point that right on the edge of a cut cornfield, and look over just in time, or just as a deer is coming out of a growth pile, or like some growth of brush that's out in the middle of the field, and he's just about to walk into the edge of the woods. He throws his nose up. Directly downwind, but he was possibly where the wind would have blown my scent and the cover scent. I was using some deer urine spray on one of the trees beside me to kind of cover my scent. So he was in a place where he could have smelt that, and apparently did, because he, instead of going into the woods, he turned and followed up the edge of the field. Came around behind the point, or came around the point where I was sitting, and just came on around the edge of the field. He got to the point where the trail enters the woods from the field, and disappeared for a few minutes. I didn't see him, so I gave him a little grunt. As soon as I did, he came right on through the woods, or right on through the trail. At that point, he was probably about 35 yards broadside from me, but there was a limb in the way. So I gave him just a few seconds, and he turned and was coming down the trail right at me. Still had not noticed me, could not tell I was there. He gets about 15 yards from me. I give just a little bleat to stop him. He stops, looks dead at me, and then this happens. What the yeah. What was that? I have never had that happen in my life. I've not even heard anybody talking about that happening. I've heard in the past. I had my rifle before this one was a rifle that fired the number 9 caps, not primers. I had that fire one time, and the cap went off, but didn't light the powder. That was another tragic story. This one, the primer fired, obviously lit the powder to an extent, because it goes shooting out of the rifle, burning. but it didn't burn in the rifle. And I still can't. I can't explain what happened. And you can see it. One of the pellets falls off to the left. The other one flies right at the deer and then swerves right at the last moment. And there's no way that the gun had enough power to push the bullet even far enough to hit the deer. And he, of course, jumps and just runs off and is gone. But what was that? What was it? I had the footage, but I wasn't gonna share this story because I was aggravated, frustrated, mad, all other kinds of words that mean angry. I was like, it's too funny now to not. But I mean, luckily the woods were damp, or I probably would have caused some kind of fire in the woods that I had to jump out of the stand and go stomp it out. But all I did was give him a smoke screen. But I said, I've never had that happen. I've never heard of that happening with a primer rifle. Caps, I've heard of it happen a lot where the cap goes off. However, the powder never leaves the barrel when that happens. It just doesn't light. This lit. It just didn't go nowhere. It didn't burn in the barrel. Gosh, I mean, it was the first buck I've seen all year. 15 yards in front of me, broadside, and then that happens. It's an opening day of muzzleloader season. I just don't even know what to say about it. I watched that. I was able to, I had 4 minutes to get ready, I think is because I turned the cameras on as soon as I seen him. And I think the timer was like 4 minutes. When I saw it, I had 4 minutes to prepare for this deer. I didn't count points. Looking at the width of him and the size, I mean, for this area, it was a decent 6 or a small 8. But it's right there. I could have thrown a rock and been better off. Definitely would have had a lot better chance with my bow. But I've shot my muzzleloader since. It fires fine. So it's not an issue with being the orifice in the breech plug being clogged. It just didn't fire. I don't know. But I guess if you're gonna have an outdoors channel, you gotta talk about the bad times too. And like I said, it was even more tragic last time that it happened. It caused me to sell the rifle and buy the one I've got now. When my cap went off, but the powder didn't light. I got 2 shots at that deer, and that was the biggest deer I've ever seen while hunting. It was a 10-point, wide, really wide. If I can find the pictures from the game camera that I had of that deer early in that season, I put them up here. By far the biggest deer I've still yet to see while hunting. And he was 75 yards in front of me, broadside, perfect shot, and the cap fired. He ended up running back to the edge of the woods, which was about 120 yards. And I got another shot at him. The powder still didn't go off. I've heard of that happening quite often with the cap rifles, but And so that was why I got rid of it and got this primer rifle. Now this happened. I really don't have much of an option to change to, but felt like I was mad enough to sell this one. But oh my gosh, I don't know. I mean, the primers seem to fire fine, and I actually use hot primers. They're for magnum load shotgun shells. So I can't explain it. I mean, the powder it was fresh. I just bought it last year. I don't know. If you've ever had this happen, comment below. If you might know what happened, comment down below. Because I don't. I'm at a complete loss. But that was this weekend's adventure. Maybe y'all can get a laugh at it too. I wasn't very happy at first. Now I was like, what you do? All you can do is laugh about it. Luckily, there's plenty of season left, and we'll have hopefully have another opportunity. Hopefully, we didn't run him nocturnal. It wasn't at least the weekend wasn't a complete loss. Dad was able to shoot a small 6, not this one, but a different one, and he was also able to get a doe that morning also, and he doesn't eat them, so he gives them to me. So our freezer is getting full. Unfortunately, just with the help of others, that's always good too. So, but hopefully this year, or hopefully we'll have another chance before this season's over. Maybe I'll just need to quit hunting until rifle season, because I usually have pretty good luck during rifle season. Hopefully they won't malfunction on me. But thank you for suffering through this episode of Real Addicted Outdoors with me. Guess it's just what happens sometimes when you're hunting. So hopefully we'll hope for better luck next time, which we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. What the What the hell just happened? I have never in my life. What the I don't even know what to say.